Sorry, everyone. Hello, welcome back, every sluggy. Welcome back to the Starlight Observatory. My name is Trip Starlight, and I am here with my friends. It's been a while since we've had a book club meeting, so I'm happy. I'm happy we're all here to talk about a book today. That book has book in the title. I'm gonna say that a lot, aren't I? It's called Bookshops and Bonedust by Travis Baldree. It is the prequel to Legends and Lattes that we read last year, and I picked it because it was an easy read, and also I wanted to complain about it, but also give it some praise, I guess. I'm here with my friends Faye, Toto, and Realm. Would you like to introduce yourself, or do you want me to attempt to?
No, new month, new year, no hullabaloo. Hi guys, name is Realm, Professor Guide to the Stars, local pot roast lover. Happy to be here.
Pot roast lover.
Hi, I'm Faye, Chaos Gremlin. And I'm here for the cussing rat.
Well, you said you could introduce me, Trips. Go do it.
Oh, hello. This is my friend Toto, the smartest science turtle in Ocean Oasis.
Thank you.
I don't know. Who your favorite character was though. So.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I don't know who my favorite character was either. Honestly, maybe the necromancer. The description of her was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
You're right. No characters blaringly came up as like an overwhelming like favorite character.
Yeah, my favorite's still Tandri. She showed up in the epilogue.
I know. I liked it when they mentioned Thimble.
Yeah.
He's just like off page, like off screen.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of the book. No. So I read this book a couple weeks ago, I guess. Well, yeah, like at the very beginning of January. And I read it thinking, this book is fine. But the more and more I read it, I was like, okay, but why is the plot going like this? I'm enjoying it, but why is it like this? And then I thought the epilogue was great, but then I was like, why didn't we write a book about what this epilogue mentions? So, I guess, what are your general thoughts? That's my first question. We can just discuss, and then we can talk about the plot as we go along, I guess. I don't know.
So I just finished it yesterday, so I'm still processing it a little, but it feels like reading an origin story after you've like read their like main arc, you know?
I mean, it is, right?
It is. That is what it is. It just, while there was more action and stuff, for some reason, like it just didn't feel as special as the first book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really think the author tried to make lightning strike twice and couldn't conjure that particular storm again.
Yeah.
Like, I liked it. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad book by any means. It's just not special.
I will say, it took me a solid 3 chapters before I was like, wait, is this the same orc? And I have to go back.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, no!
Yeah.
That was the whole point.
Very, very similar to How to Lose the Time War. It took me like a few chapters to like bridge everything in, because maybe it's just like such a new book, but there really wasn't even any articles with like references per se. And given the cast of characters we mentioned before stream, like being mostly female, and then a few disgruntled like interjected like, oh, this is who I am, soft-spoken but harsh. And you just really like, it kind of all blended in, and it was tough to be like distinctly, oh yeah, this character's hanging out. Let's see what they're up to.
You know what it was? It had prequel syndrome,
It did
where
have prequel
you know,
syndrome.
like a lot of these characters don't play a larger role because we've already read like later on, and we know like Galena comes back, but like the other ones apparently were not important enough to come back.
Not yet, right?
In the other book. Maybe not yet. Maybe they will come back.
So
and that'll make this nicer.
Yeah, I guess for context, Legends and Lattes is about a retired orc who, like, adventurer mercenary person who decides to open up a coffee shop as like that's her retirement plan. But this book is a prequel, so she's like, she gets injured at the beginning of the book. Like the group of people she's with are trying to find a necromancer lady, but she gets injured, and so they drop her off at this like sea shanty town and it's like quiet, and she ends up like making friends with various people throughout the town and trying to like help out. And in some ways it felt strange because it felt like the main plot to me was like fixing like a rundown bookshop, which was kind of like the same thing as Bookshops, or sorry, Legends and Lattes, except it was like starting a business instead of fixing a business. Yeah. There's a, what do we call it, spring summer fling that goes nowhere and doesn't serve any plot purpose really, in my opinion.
Which is kind of nice though. I kind of hate it when like the little bit of romance is part of a plot. Like I like that it just is. That's kind of nice.
I guess to me what made me, so this entire the whole thing with this book is like Viv is having a really good time and realizing she likes relaxing, I think, ultimately, and like just hanging out with people sometimes instead of just fighting all the time. But she realizes like she's going to have to like leave all these people behind and go back to adventuring because she feels like that's her calling at this point in time in her life, and that's fine. I think that's cool, a cool story beat to have. But I felt like they thought, like, Travis Baldree thought that like the fling needed to happen because Viv's like deep friendship with Fern wasn't enough to make her feel bad about leaving. But that kind of made me sad. I was like, but Fern is like, they get along really well. I don't know. But
Fern is baby.
Am I the only one who thought the Baker girl was gonna turn out to be the necromancer?
I was really hoping.
Right?
That would be
'Cause
interesting.
She was like the only one like outside of like the big three like friend group in the bookstore who actually found like the skeleton boy and everything. She wasn't really there for all of that. So I was like, oh my god, that's gonna be the plot twist, and that's why Trips wanted us to read so bad, because it's gonna turn out that the love interest character is actually the big bad.
No,
the story would have been more interesting.
I just wanted to rant about the book. I
Yeah,
apologize to bring you all here today.
Yeah,
For
but
me.
then the like dwarf lady love interest like met the skeleton, and I was like, oh, never mind.
It would have been. It would have been.
And then I was like, oh,
interesting.
it's the like lady who lives in the house on the hill, like all alone, who like writes books and writes smutty books. She's secretly the necromancer, and it was like, no, actually.
Oh, that would have been
she's just
genuinely
this,
good
like,
though.
smut out
That
there.
would have been good too. I thought maybe that was the case. as
Toto,
well.
it's time that you change career paths and
Right.
just start
I should
giving
be a writer.
selling ideas.
I should be a writer/editor.
Yeah.
It turns out that like the necromancer is just like some completely other character we've never seen before. Who
Yeah.
comes in like last like fifth of the book.
She just shows up. It's not
Yeah,
even the
like, she
last
was
fifth of the
hinted
book.
at,
It's like
like-
the last like 20 pages.
Okay, I think like another thing is that okay, this book doesn't do it terribly. Like sometimes you have prequels make the sequel like make the original weaker because they like over explain things, like the Star Wars prequel. This book didn't do that too much, but I thought the way that she got the sword was kind of lame.
Yeah, so I guess we should.
The sword was so
explain.
important in the second book.
So for the
or
most
in the-
part
in
of-
the original
yeah.
book.
Yeah, you're right. For the most part of this book, it's Fern. Fern is a little ratkin that curses a lot and teaches Viv the joy of reading, and then in turn, Viv helps her like make the place smell less like dog. The bookstore. Pot.
I mean,
What
she
is
does
it?
have a pet,
Owl dog.
pet owl dog, yeah.
Yeah. Pot roast. Then the other half of this plot is that there's a necromancer like taking over the world, I guess.
Or just like disturbing the area.
She's just messing things up, yeah. And there's this person in town who's really shady and ends up being like a defector, right?
Yeah. he,
From
like,
the necromantic army.
Stole the necromancer's book
Yeah.
and hid it in the library that Fern owns.
Yeah, and eventually they find that. They also
Yeah.
find like a bag of bones
Yeah.
on the guy because he gets killed at some
And
point.
then the bag of bones turns into a guy also.
Yeah, the bag of bones turns into a guy. His
I
name
like
is
Satchel.
Satchel. Yeah, I actually liked Satchel. I thought he was endearing for what he was. So yeah, with this book is like a bag of holding kind of, but each page is like a different thing. Has
I thought it
different
was
stuff.
Yeah.
genuinely funny that he was named after what carried him.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like, well, can't think of anything else. That's your name.
Yeah, literally, people who like revel in naming their dog. just for the sheer kicks of it.
It's just one of those things that like so I read this book while I had COVID.
Oh no.
And I didn't have anything else to do. And so I was like reading it and I was like, that's kind of funny. That's really sad, but it's kind of funny.
It is kind of funny. It is also sad. You're right. But he doesn't like because he's like so bound to the necromantic powers. Like he can't like pick a name, right? And he can't like make his own decisions, even though he does slowly. He just has to like work around the logic of the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's also really good at reading. He reads like a book in 1 second.
I thought he was gonna turn into an author or something at the end.
Maybe.
I would have loved for him to.
I feel like a lot of what this book did, especially because of the epilogue, like it's set up for like those characters to like come in to the next book, maybe.
That's true. Like a lot
Is
of the
it?
stories didn't finish, you know?
Yeah. Which is a weird thing to do for a prequel, but hey, whatever. Yeah, so with that big book, Viv pulls out Black Blood. That's what it's called. Yeah, Black Blood. Which is the sword that she hangs up in Legends and Lattes, her cafe. So now we know the origin story for that, which it was, you're right, it was kind of like, I don't know if ham-fisted is the word, but it's just like, you got it. Good job. Like,
Yeah, she just kind of reaches into one of the book portals and is like, da 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 da, I got a sword.
yeah, and
It's mine now.
there weren't really any consequences other than that necromancy lady knew where she was.
Yeah, but my issue isn't the consequence. It didn't feel like she earned the sword.
That
you know?
too. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
felt like just she kind of got it.
I mean, that's how a lot of adventurers start out, though, is like they were just kind of it was just happened upon them. So like I'm not inherently
true.
too mad that she didn't earn the sword. It was just it felt silly.
Yeah, it was silly.
Yeah.
I agree. Along the way, Fern is like gradually recommending various different books to Viv, and one of them just ends up being like lesbian romance.
It was lesbian smut, yeah.
Yeah, lesbian smut.
I thought that was hilarious. That was incredibly cheeky of Fern, and I respect it.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
great.
that's why I was like, I was thinking that like Fern was hitting on Viv because like she kind of goes like, oh, couldn't you stay a little while longer?
I think she's just trying to be a wingman for Wing
I
Rat.
think so too now.
For
Yeah.
Melee, though.
Yeah, but like at the very beginning, like she's just saying stuff like, oh, I mean, you could stay and read a little longer. And I know like the obvious reading is like she just is lonely in her bookshop because no one
Yeah,
comes.
she wants someone to buy something.
But it's just so funny to me that like you can kind of read a lot of characters as being into like the big orc lady.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when you said it was like a harem, it made me kind of realize that this book, like, Viv doesn't have like the biggest personality in Legends and Lattes either, but I feel like she's so young. If you read it from like a Viv is a harem protagonist perspective, she is like that like very I have no distinct personality kind of characters
Yeah,
at
that's
some
true.
point. At some
Well,
point.
she's like big, strong, and then she's like caring.
Yeah.
But a lot of those are like kind of just like general hero
Yeah.
personality traits. You
Oh
know?
God, is that all it takes? Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was
Standards
like,
out the
oh,
window.
Oh no, you have a point.
I mean, even like the warden lady who was a how do you say it? Nepenti?
A Tapenti? Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like this is a race he made up, but
It's
like Snake's
just
person.
it's a Yuan-Ti from D&D, but
yeah.
he changed the name.
Yeah. And
It would
I
have been
was-
funny if you said
but in any
schmucky.
case, it's just like she was like, "Oh, I don't like you." There was like totally rival character in the harem
Yeah.
anime, you know?
Rival snake
The
lady.
rivals to lovers.
The rivals to lovers. Yes, she also like I mean she was like a plot device type of character, but she also didn't serve much purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is okay. I don't mind having like a book where we just like see the different people with throughout town. I thought that's kind of like what Who Pitts was, the other orc guy.
Okay, well, you know what my problem is with these characters isn't that the way they treat Viv, it's that they didn't feel like they did anything outside of talking to Viv, you know?
Yeah, they're not.
If Viv wasn't around, the world was not spinning.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like they just like were like NPCs who like froze when the main character wasn't around. Like
That's true.
there was some times where they mentioned like, oh, I went to see like the baker.
Mhm.
But and I get that's also part of the course for like reading the book from, it was obviously from Viv's perspective.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I don't know, maybe we've just been spoiled by One Piece where like all the characters, like even the most minor side characters have stuff going on off screen.
That's true.
Whenever
I
we're
would
not
say
watching
in at most books like this, you don't really know what's going on.
Yeah,
otherwise.
that's true.
But
Just been spoiled.
in like Galena, so we get like the origin of Galena. She's I don't
Yeah,
know if she's
okay,
from
and
this
she
town.
also is like tsundere towards Viv, like, right? Like, come on.
Oh yeah, yeah. It did
I
kind of
also
feel
got
like
that kind of feeling from the first book too when they met up.
yeah. Maybe we'll find out later on that they also have a fling at some point. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe there's gonna be like a mid-quill.
A mid-quill.
Viv cannot keep going. She cannot keep boinking all of her crap. This is not a realistic standard.
Faye, you don't understand. This is how lesbians work, though.
It can simply
That is literally
cannot
how
be.
lesbians work.
It simply could not.
Like your exes just start dating each other because
This
everyone
is
just dated
bonkers.
everyone.
This is why Faye doesn't date.
So that's fair.
Straight people don't get it.
What?
Bi people don't get it either.
No, I'm kidding. I've
90%
only
of the time,
dated once.
I have no idea what the
I'm
is
so
going
sorry.
on.
Realm, babe, it's okay.
I did- Nobody.
Sometimes when Toto and I talk, I feel like we just hand Realm a lollipop and like pat him on the head and move on to another.
That's true. No context. You
I just offer
here's
saying
candy.
soliloquies in the corner like I'm telling a dream. Like, oh, come to me now, young patron.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's like, or like the videos where people like fifth wheeling somebody, like, I once loved somebody, and now I lament.
Now I lament.
Oh my gosh, do you think, well, the epilogue of the book teases that Fern is coming to visit.
Yes.
Do you think Fern and the other ratkin, are they gonna get together?
No,
No.
because like
That'd be
Fern is
funny.
so brash and sweet little Thimble
It's so small.
is so small.
They're like the same size.
I'm
The
just
Fern's
saying, that would
energy.
be really, their reverse energy may be opposites attract.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be adorable
that,
though.
that could be pretty cute. I don't know. I'd have
Yeah.
to see them
Like
interact.
she speaks up for him. It's like the goth girlfriend and the
Oh my god.
The
Oh
shy.
yeah, and
the
a shy
dog
guy.
I don't know,
If
part
you
I
just
don't
call him a
remember.
dog, oh my god.
I don't
Excuse
remember
me,
the like
He
stereotype.
said no pickles.
Yeah. No effing pickles.
Oh my god. No. Yeah, maybe
I don't
though.
know. I don't know.
Maybe though. But oh god, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I really felt like yeah, I think some of the characters felt like they lived their lives. Like I actually felt like Maylee lived her life when Viv wasn't around. But it felt like Galena was like literally just chilling, waiting for Viv every single day. Because I
Yeah,
think that's
definitely.
actually what she was doing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is
But
like
that would fit her
uh,
goals. Like I could almost excuse that.
Yeah, that's true. It's like you don't do anything though. I don't know.
I mean, you're just
Like-
stalking this poor lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, harem protagonist, right?
Yep.
Oh no.
Protagonist. Oh no.
Anything but this.
It's honestly true with like the warden too. Like she didn't really do anything either, other than like come and arrest them when they got in trouble.
Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah. So they do get in trouble because they get into a scuffle with the necromantic defector guy, and they go to jail. And they like Galena and Viv basically become friends through being jailed together.
Yeah. And reading smut together, though.
Yeah,
Galena
and
falls
reading
asleep
smut
when they get to
together.
I mean, Galeno later on buys the moist, books.
Mm-hmm.
Moist group of books.
The moist group
So,
of books.
I
That's really
mean,
funny.
you know, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
You're right.
It's goofy.
I am right. When was I ever wrong?
Sometimes, but not this time.
Whoa,
You know.
huh? When was I ever
Exclusively the
wrong?
times in which right is not the right way, you know?
Oh boy.
I still shooting the shit.
Yeah. So I think what else?
Okay, let's talk about what we did like about the book because
Yeah,
I think it was
yeah.
really negative, but I did enjoy the overall think of Viv kind of getting a new lease on life almost because she got injured and she was left behind and she was like, oh no, I can't fight, my life is worthless, and she finds a purpose, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
I did like that.
I liked the character. I mean, even though it felt like the characters didn't do anything aside from hang out around Viv, I genuinely liked all the characters.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought
Fern made me laugh out loud
uh-huh.
a significant number of times.
I think they also all had distinct personalities from the characters of the first book,
Mhm.
Which
is
was
not
so
always easy.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oh no, you go ahead. You go first.
All right. No, I just felt that Viv had a certain persona in her head about what she was doing because she's young, she's hot-blooded, she's a merc. That's what she wanted to do. It's how she wants to live her life. And then slowly they kind of chiseled away at her facade and just thought well, there are many things you could do and you could enjoy your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's what I liked. It's just it didn't hit the exact depth of character we enjoy for all the people, but it did the roles pretty well.
I don't necessarily had to. I mean, all it promised to be was a slice of life book, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
there it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate a book that's hey, here's what I'm gonna do, and then they do it, and then there's no more to it.
Yeah.
They do it and there's no more to it.
Yeah, I suppose that is
I mean,
true.
for that to rhyme, but here we are.
Yeah, I think I did like all the characters as well. I always thought they were the strongest part of the book, except maybe Melee, but she gets kind of the pass. In my opinion. What the heck was I gonna say? Oh, I like that the book does portray someone who yeah, she's down on herself because she got stabbed in the leg. But it shows Viv actually finding a new hobby and really enjoying it, and how that progresses. Then she shares that hobby with other people. I don't know. I thought that was fun to see.
Yeah.
And it's reading, which is my hobby. So
Oh yeah.
I guess I'm biased a little bit, but
One thing I liked over the first book is how them reinventing book clubs and
Yeah.
mystery bags of books felt a lot more natural in this book. Whereas in the first book, when they invent the Scotty and coffee again, that was a little forced.
yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Um,
I really wonder, the Zelia Greatstrider author, I thought she was quite interesting, but she's has a very small role in the book, so I wonder if we'll see her again in later
Maybe.
books in this
Right.
series.
That whole creating expectations and then really just sort of little Lily, it's not the destination, it's the journey along the way. I hear that in the back of my mind.
Mhm.
But hyping up this cool 1,000-year-old elven author who's really cool and happens to live in the town, that would have been
And
a
write
lot more
smut.
something. And writes smut, literally, in
Mhm.
his giant ass mansion with just two of the people there, or just like I was mentioning earlier, the whole part of hyping up the danger of the necromancer and stuff like that, and then it just been well, she's just this old lady and she just happens to like you, so let's just go hang out in the bookstore and la dee da, and then the necromancer, that whole situation happens so quickly, and I was just well, it's a minor boner killer.
And, and there that is. No, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did like how the themes of like, bookshops and Bonedust like came around because you got the satchel being part of the library
Yeah.
or part of
Yeah.
the bookstore, and then the book, the portal book at the very end was like they used it to defeat the necromancer.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, books are important, and they beat off the evil.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
also,
yeah.
skeletons are important.
And skeletons are important. I did kind of like how the action resolved at the end because it was so like, okay.
Right. I like how the action resolved. I didn't like how the villain was introduced.
That's fair, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I like that pot roast saved the day, ultimately.
Oh, that's because pot roast is best boy,
Best boy. Yeah.
and I'm tired of hearing otherwise.
Who has ever said
Surrender.
I
otherwise?
didn't say otherwise.
I'm sure
You
there's
are
people.
like
I'm ready to fight 'em.
making a straw man argument here, Faye. No one has said otherwise.
I'm here for it. I'm here to fight.
Pot roast is really cute. I agree. and a good boy. The goodest boy. In the book.
He's a good boy.
It was so funny though when Trips was like, "Here's the book we're reading." I was like, "The fuck is this?" and I can hear it in Trips' voice because she goes, "His name's Pot Roast."
Yes, it's pot roast.
And I got it while I was on lunch. So like we were having this conversation and I choked on my food. Laughing so hard.
Oh
It was so funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Kind of Trips. Actually, I kind of imagined you being like somewhat along like Fern. Cause something happened, you get everything ready, and you just like something slightly like brings thing askew. You're like, oh fuck, why?
Yeah.
Why?
That's
Just
true.
imagine you, well, just because I'm watching your Dark Souls streams, I just imagine you
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
just like flailing.
Yeah, I could kind of relate to Fern. I guess like the love of books and everything going wrong and panicking. Yeah. I used to
Having
curse
met
a lot
you in
more
real
than I
life,
do,
you
too.
know, yeah, it's true. Trips is just like a small fern.
I'm just a ratkin in real life.
Yeah. Like when I first met Trips, they were doing like tippy taps at the door.
That's true. I was.
Oh my god.
I was. It's true. I don't know. It's you can ask lots of people. I have weird mannerisms. Maybe like Fern.
Charming mannerisms.
Oh, thank you.
It's
Mhm.
it's what is it? Endearing character traits. That's what it's.
Yeah.
Idealistic individuality.
Oh, but this book isn't about me.
Well,
It is.
Beaver
You
Head.
also started a book club just like Fern.
That's true. I did
I'm
start a
saying.
book club. That's true. I don't have a
Does that
pot
mean
roast,
Travis?
though.
Does that mean Travis Baldree is the smut writing author elf?
Oh,
Ooh.
Can we get that book?
yeah. Can we
Or
get
maybe,
that
or
book?
maybe
I have
Eiichiro
a special
Oda.
request.
Maybe Eiichiro Oda is the smut writing elf.
I like that idea. I could do that.
I feel like that would be for a different book club.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
different book club. Maybe after hours book club.
Midnight book club.
Midnight.
It would be cool.
Just
Yeah,
read
I don't
smut.
know if I want to do that though.
I don't know.
I feel like all our tastes are gonna be like hugely different.
That's true.
Yeah, but that's why you said you like showing us these options because you like the differing opinions.
Yeah.
For books, not for smut.
Look, it's just another
You
piece
just
of
want to be
literature,
agreed
man.
with for smut? Alright, Toto.
Well, it does kind of
can't
like it's
see
like
me,
I
but I'm
like you
shaking
all,
my
but I don't know if I
head.
like you like that.
You know.
I can feel the disappointment. It's fine. I'm used to it. It tastes great.
Alright.
What, you wanted this, Faye?
No, I'm ruffling and it's fine.
Oh my god.
What was I gonna say? I don't know.
I didn't start the stream planning to fight with Toto the entire time,
Right?
but this is more fun than I anticipated.
You picked this fight. You picked these fights. I'm just defending myself.
What do you want to fight about?
Honestly, I think we
It's
get
got
Toto
hands.
riled up at this point.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Like I didn't say stop, but
Oh goodness. Oh, I had a thought, and so I have a question. Do you think this story would have been more interesting or like the same if instead of the story just being from Viv's perspectives, it was actually from all the other various characters' perspectives, and we were just observing Viv live in the world?
I think it would have been different.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if I can say I would have liked it better.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I would have. My first impression would be he's trying a new style,
Yeah.
and I would say like, all right, well, let's just see where it goes. I don't think it would draw me in.
Orc nature documentary doesn't sound fun.
That's true. It doesn't. I've read
No.
books where it works, but it is a difficult thing to write.
Right,
think
right.
it would help make the
depends
world-
entirely on the subject.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it helps make the world feel more lived in, but it like the book is supposed to be about Viv's development, so
Right.
it would.
So
take
it
away
wouldn't have
from
worked
that.
very well. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
I agree with that.
I think it's like a hit or miss kind of thing.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
The only
That's it.
example I think of that is literally like, oh, watching Discovery Channel and watching like nature. All right, but when you have like Snoop Dogg's dub over nature, people laugh their ass off. Like I think it would just I feel like something would need to be prepared in advance.
I would read
For
a
that
book
sort
of
of
Ferd
perspective.
narrating like life outside the bookshop, though.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
I think there's room to expand and look at like a book about each individual character, but I don't know about a book
Right.
that constantly shifts perspective.
I think personally, I would have preferred to see more of Viv's mercenary days because it's highlighted why she's there in the first place. The first book actually, highlights that she wanted to get away from it, and she had these experiences, and she's just like tired of it. We saw her when she was young and hot-blooded, and we saw her at the end of her mercenary journey. Where the heck are we gonna like feel as if she actually went through, so much that she's just like hung up on it?
That's true. We can't be tired of something we haven't experienced, so like
That's
put us
true.
through it.
Okay, I'm the opposite of you guys. I like that we never see it because I feel like if we do see it, it like takes away from the mystery of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I can see that. I can see that.
I like
it
that, like-
doesn't need to explain everything.
Yeah, and I like but I like that this makes the series different. Is like it's not about like the action and the fighting. It's about like the areas that other books normally don't talk about, like the cozy areas in between
Yeah.
the action.
Yeah, I do like that these books try to expand on like the time in between adventures. I feel like even when I played like TTRPGs, I don't get a lot of
You
downtime.
definitely don't. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I always want to like play my character out more, and you don't get that. And I feel like Travis Baldree was just like, I'm gonna write all about my character and what she does in the meantime. It's kind of cute.
Do you think
honestly.
Viv is his like D&D character?
Maybe.
That would be precious, truly.
I don't know. She could be.
Honestly, I would do that. I would write a book about my like OC.
Yeah. Yeah, and it happened to be
The
a
Tale
published
of
book.
Toto Hex.
Yes. Yeah, I thought that was a fun thought I had. I feel like that is possible too, based on some of the interviews I've read with
Yeah.
him.
I mean, he wouldn't be the first. There's a lot of people who are not doing that because
Oh yeah.
D&D is great, or just tabletop RPGs.
Yeah, it's just storytelling. So
not
you just
necessarily what
transform
D&D
it.
is right now.
it depends.
Just the company is not.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think of what else I had to say. I did have things because I'm not trying to just be like, let's talk about the one thing first. I guess you said you liked that the fling didn't matter. I guess now that you said that it didn't matter, like it's nice that it was just kind of a thing on its own. I can understand it now, but I guess I wonder like, why didn't Maylee matter to the plot at all? Like, why was she even there?
I don't think she was there for the plot. I think she was there to be a foil to Viv.
But
Because
yeah.
she's like the adventurer who's
Okay,
already
okay,
been there,
okay.
done that.
Okay. I guess I was just
Yeah,
unconvinced.
she
think
kind of
it-
offers a different flavor, like
Yeah, like she's the already retired person. She's like, oh, we met at like, different times of her life. Like, you are just getting started. And
Right.
I am.
Because they even have that conversation in the boat where Viv is like, how'd you give it up? And she's like, what do you mean? Of course I had to give it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
It's
really
like,
liked that. I also liked why she gave it up. Like her little
Yeah.
story about washing dishes across the stream from the other little goblin girl. I think
No.
that's precious.
Yeah. That's true.
I think it could have just been executed a little bit better. Or maybe it's just like, I don't know.
I think
I haven't experienced something like quite similar to that. So it's like a pretty specific experience to relate to.
yeah. Yeah, I think for me it's not that I don't think that Melee herself is important. I think that she just didn't it felt like Viv didn't really care about her that much. And so I was like not invested at all.
Well, maybe it was supposed to open Viv up to opportunities, but not be the opportunity.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't think-
Okay. So what I thought it was going to be like her lesbian awakening, but then it was like, nah, I just like girls. It's like, okay.
Right. Yeah, in a way, that's kind of why I thought like they did sort of put that together, but there wasn't really much like the whole, like you said, the whole awakening.
But I suppose in this
Situation,
world
it
you
was
don't
just
need
like-
it.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
I
like,
don't think
yeah,
some
that's
people
just-
just don't need an awakening. Some people just seem to know.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, totally. Yeah, I guess.
And
don't
I
know.
like how this fantasy world is very, like, accepting.
Yeah. I don't even know what I'm trying to like say. I guess I just didn't. I personally didn't feel the emotional impact, but I'm glad.
No,
that
I feel
some
your
people
trips
did.
because, like, I would have been all over this book if this was like her lesbian awakening. And she was like,
Yeah.
girls can like girls.
Oh yeah,
Or, like, reading a book for
you
this
saw
book?
us during the duology before. Like we were all over that because they gave it to us, and then now it's just like
Yeah.
crest of the leg. Where the hell did that caress come from? Nope. Now it's gone.
Yeah.
I will agree. I
don't
will
know. That's just
concede that
more
it
for
she
me, though. That's
Viv
just
didn't seem to
personal.
care.
Yeah, I guess it just bothered me that she didn't more than anything. I was like, but she's so nice to you. I don't know. But I think that makes me mad in like harem anime too, when the main character is just like, yeah, we're greatest friends.
Ugh,
We're
yeah.
going on a date, but I'm not invested, type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like a harem protagonist.
Yep. So,
This whole book was
I
just
don't
a
know.
harem anime in disguise.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think the doctor guy kind of made me laugh, but he also wasn't all that important.
Yeah, I wish he showed up more.
Yeah.
He
He was
kind of
fun,
shows up
yeah.
at the end. I liked him.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how
He was
sassy
sassy.
was.
Sassy doctor man.
Mhm.
It was fun. A good idea. So I guess.
I feel like this book was probably at some point longer, and they trimmed it down.
No.
'Cause
Well,
it feels like
actually,
some characters
I
just
can
don't
tell you.
fit.
So I don't know if you read the acknowledgments, Faye, because I don't think that's in the audiobook. But basically, this book was 3 different books, and then it got mashed to be this book.
Ah.
Yeah.
Really?
I see.
Yeah, you can. He tried to write a book that was like fantasy murder she wrote, and it didn't work. And then he tried to write a different book, and I don't know if he says which one it is in the thing. Maybe he does. No, and then he wrote a different book, and then a different book, and then he said, "Now you're holding this book." It wasn't all wasted. It sounds gross, but I harvested a lot of organs from those 3 failed books, and they're here pumping away in bookshops and Bonedust. Several characters emerge from the wreckage to populate Merc.
I don't like that he used the word pumping. That's
Right?
not fun for me.
Right?
Put those words back in
Like
your
being
mouth.
It's like being a book romancer, like a book necromancer.
Yeah, so he actually didn't intend to write about... he did not initially intend to continue to write about Viv. He was going to write a totally different, like a murder mystery in Thune. And I think the way that... Here, hold on. I'll just read it out loud because it's like right here in front of my face. It's centered around the magical College of Ackers involving a 500-year-old elf and instructor of thalamic forensics. After being passed over for deanship of Ackers for someone infinitely less qualified, she angrily retired from her professorship to become a romance novelist, and not a particularly successful one. And then she's contacted years later to investigate the death of the dean who took her job. but it just didn't work out. And then it says something. Yeah, it says like it also involves a fledgling that's living above the university bookshop. So I thought it was going to like have Tandry be in there at some point. But that clearly didn't work out. So I don't know. And I was like, I'm interested in that story. But
Yeah, that story seems way more interesting than
I know.
the one else we've been
What
doing.
might have worked
I wonder-
is if instead of like have Viv be in this book, but don't have her be the main POV character.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to get at. Like if it was from different perspectives. Like
Or
Right.
Viv is
if it was
here.
from like all from like Fern's perspective.
Yeah.
Right, or like some other party that needed like some sort of maybe student or some institute that needed like a mercenary's help for something, and then they took
Have Viv
Viv's
on.
team,
Have Viv be the side character. in
and
this book.
you would understand some of what goes on through like a journal entry or a message that Viv's team would send. That would be kind of cool. You know, you would get a little bit more context of mercenary stuff without having, you know, be on them, and then you can focus on something else if you want to. Because, you know, like I said, I can complain all I want about where they want to be, but if you didn't want to write about her merc days and like you wanted to write about this town, then you know, all for them.
Do it, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually am curious okay, just because you did the research on like how this book came to be, what constitute as a failure? 'Cause how do you determine that like you could just take the organs of these books and then just donate it to another story?
He just what he wrote, literally, what word for word he wrote. He didn't like it. He didn't like the way that the plot was turning out. And he couldn't work it out in a way that he thought would be good, and so he scrapped it and then started writing a different story. And then one way, I don't know how you do it. You write, I guess, and you just take characters from different plots and add them into a different story.
I guess you'd have to, yeah.
Yeah. Which, you know, the thing is, I still think this book is like a success, Bookshops and Bonedust overall. Like, it's an entertaining little story. I just kind of wished that it was more of a mystery at this point, knowing that he was going to actually write a mystery book. Because it was not very mysterious, ultimately.
I feel like I feel like because it was like 3 books stitched together, they like really kind of like didn't focus on the mystery until like kind of the end.
Yeah. Which,
I mean, that also makes sense because she was wounded.
yeah, she's wounded, can't get around. I think that's actually all right. It's more like, to me, I was really hoping, like, well, you said Toto, I was hoping it was either Zelia or it was Melee.
Yeah, it was like someone we've already met before, you know.
Yeah.
And
it would
then
have been fun.
it would have been interesting if it turned out that like the necromancer is actually not a bad person. She just got stolen from, and then someone was using her shit
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and just
Getting
turned
her
out-
in trouble.
Yeah,
kind
getting
of,
her in
yeah.
trouble.
It's like I just like experimenting on dead bodies. Whatever.
Yeah.
I could have lived with that. That would have been good.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the same
I just-
time, I do like that each character, like some character, everybody's in a different like path in part of their life of where they are in like deciding what they really want to do with their lives. Like Fern at some point is like not sure if she really wants to continue the bookshop because she doesn't have the confidence. And she's like hasn't really put any thought into like why what her dad did worked and why what she's doing doesn't work. And Viv reconsiders being a mercenary, and Satchel really doesn't want his lot in life at all. But
he's
can't
kind
see
of, like,
any way out.
enslaved.
Yeah. And Pot Roast is cute.
Pot Roast had the most character development.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's true. He didn't like Viv, and then he gradually began to like Viv throughout the series. As he ate more treats.
You know, that's another thing. I think that's another weakness of this book is that the characters don't really go through any major change.
That's true.
You know?
That's fair.
Maybe
And I
like
think that makes it a little harder to get invested when they don't change. Because I think you saw more change happen in the first book in the original.
yeah, I would
Mhm.
say so, because like I think maybe I forgot his name, but he's the guy who gave like Viv the the wooden stuff at the beginning. Later on, he's
Oh,
like
yeah.
reciting his own poetry, and then they're just like, well, maybe it's just more he's just smarter than he is, but doesn't really put on airs about it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like that was the most, and even then, it's really just, well, you just didn't know him, so how would you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you're right. Viv actually does go through like a character like growth in the first book because she realizes like she can rely on her friends and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it also is funny because like at what point does she not rely on anyone? Because she, I mean, well, I guess she doesn't really rely on anyone because she tries to move around all on her own and get better all by
Yeah.
herself and doesn't like going to the doctor. So yeah, she was just stuck in her ways in this book.
Yeah. I mean, in this book, she learns to like reading books.
Yeah, she likes
That
reading
is,
books.
Like self-development.
She develops a
Like,
hobby. I like that, but
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was a really cool point, because it would be nice in some sort of epilogue where you would see her going along and she's like thinking, oh, I wish I had a book right now. And then like you can start to see more of like her ideals of the mercenary life sort of chip away, be like, well, it'd be really cool if I was just hanging out, sitting in a chair in a store, my own store.
Mhm.
You make her sound like Bilbo at the start of The Hobbit.
Mhm.
Like, I wish I was back in my hobbit hole reading a book instead of on this grand adventure.
Oh, I know.
She's getting an 80s montage if I wrote that.
Right.
Maybe that's just because I just recently read The Hobbit again.
Oh, really? That's nice.
Yeah, I've been reading it with a student.
Oh, fun. Yeah, I think that's all the thoughts I really had. I feel bad, like, other than like the epilogue, I do have thoughts about the epilogue. I honestly, more than anything, I think the epilogue just made me feel like, why didn't I get a book about them getting married? And I don't need to see it, but I just want to. Like,
Oh,
how did
married
that was
yet?
cool.
Huh?
Are they married at the end?
Yeah, they're married at the end. Tandri
Aw.
and Viv are married.
How did I
They,
miss that?
they literally say like, oh yeah, something like my wife.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I totally missed that. I'm dumb.
Where is it? Let me see.
Maybe we will see that middle book then.
Yeah,
Hmm,
maybe.
I don't know. I like that, like, it's just a little window into their life. It's not like everything, you know?
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh yeah, Viv stared at Tandri and without thinking about it, tucked a lock of hair behind her wife's ear. That's what it says.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my wife.
Yeah, it's like I don't actually need to see it, but I'm like, you're gonna give me this sprinkling of Thimble and this sprinkling of Tandri. And
It's just a little tease, a little cherry at the end.
Yeah, I guess after discussing this book, I just feel like the plot made me care about them more than most of the characters in this book, other than Fern. I like Fern and Pot Roast, but
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Yeah, I think out of all the characters, while I liked them, I think only Fern stood out as like one. Like I really like. No, Fern and Satchel. I really like those two.
That's true. Satchel's cool.
Yeah, Galena is like whatever.
Yeah. Galena's just like the side character in both books.
Yeah. Like
I wanted
like-
to like Galena. I thought she was fun. Like I liked
Uh-oh.
how spunky and
Yeah.
like she's one of those like you got Moxie kid kind of characters.
And you
But,
got my
like,
child.
I think it's her lack of character development, right?
Mhm.
Like,
it
I
has
feel
to be
like
because I was
if there's a
getting mad
middle
at her.
Yeah, if there's like a middle book where she learns, like, oh, I also have to be responsible, and I can't just
Yeah.
like do whatever.
Like at one
Then I
point I
think
was like,
it's-
"Listen here, you little shit,
Right?
just stop."
Yeah, I mean, maybe it could be even that, like, maybe one of the next books is going to
Like
be
her personality in this book was like stabby
Bad.
stab, let me stab.
Yeah, stabby, stab, stab. She's got to learn.
Like all she did was like egg Viv on, and it's like maybe if you settled the hell down.
I also think because Galena, they say in the first book that Galena was hurt the most by Viv's decision to retire. I think this was supposed to give us like backstory that like they're the first to meet up out of their like adventuring group and travel
That
together.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I wish we could see them be like more bonded and closer, so I could feel her hurt when
I
like
feel like
Yeah.
but I feel like maybe that there's room for a midquel, you know?
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I
I
would
don't,
do it. I would be excited.
I don't know. Sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I don't know if I want like another middle book like between Bookshops and Bonedust and Legends and Lattes that's like Viv going to that town where all the Gnomish people make coffee and stuff. Like I feel like that's like what would be the next progression based on what we know currently, I guess.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't know if I want that either.
That would be annoying. You're right.
Yeah.
I think I would be so over it at that point.
Yeah.
Like, damn, all right, I read about Viv. Good God, you got anything else?
Yeah. I don't know. He got like a 3-book deal with Tor, and it could be more of Viv's story, but I have a feeling it's just going to be in like the world he created, and we'll have other characters.
I would prefer it to be in the world.
Yeah.
I would live with a book about God, the little gnome starts with a G.
Galena?
I'm never totally sure on how to say her name. Sorry.
I get it.
It's okay.
I would survive with a book about her like after like
Yeah.
Legends and Lattes, her just like going off and gallivanting and doing whatever.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
I like that.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Because, like,
Yeah.
I do think she's a titular character. I do think she's fun. In the first book, book, I was
The
pissed
Burke.
off with her. Burke. I was so pissed with her. But then the second one, like, she was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, maybe I feel like she's been brought up twice, and so she is a good candidate for her own
that's
book.
fair.
I feel like romance authors do that a lot, where they like have like side characters, and then the next book is about that side character. Maybe we'll get that.
I like that, but
Yeah.
it's not. It gets annoying really quick. It's like, all right, Jesus Christ, you have anything else?
I understand totally. I used to like it, and now I'm kind of sick of it.
Right. It like I would say the only thing stopping it is I don't like in the first if I only read the first book, I would say yeah, like Travis has a good feel for his characters. After the second one, I don't feel that he has the confidence to like make them their side stories. I like Galena would be really cool to have her own charades because she's like a high-wired, like spunky, you know, person trying to make it big in the mercenary life. But like, you
I
said, we pretty
think-
much got nowhere with her.
No, I think he needs more time to cook. Is what it is. I think the first book had more time spent on it, and like this second book came out like pretty fast.
Yeah, I
It
think-
came out
Yeah, pretty
the first
quick,
book.
I think he had a deadline, and he was like, "Here you go."
Yeah, I think it needed a little more time just
Yeah.
to like make sure that like you have a character, you have their characteristics, and then what is the next step with that character instead of just this is them.
That's fair.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? We can place our bets now. Do you think the next book will have Viv as the main character, or will we see a whole new story?
It freaking better not.
I agree. I
Yeah,
actually agree with
as
you,
a
Faye. It's freaking better
perfectionist,
not.
like, as a reader, I don't want it, but as like a perfectionist, I'm like, why would you write a trilogy and then two of them are like the same and the third one's not?
No, he has. The thing is, he has 3 more books, 3 new books.
Oh, okay, never
Yeah.
mind then. Never mind. Yeah, please no. Then, please
If he
no.
has literally anything else under his belt, I need to see it.
Yeah, I'm sure
Otherwise,
he
I'm
does.
gonna riot.
Dude, what is with you, Faye? You are like fighty today. You're Galena. You're like
It's really
ready to
fun.
throw down.
I'm just so like 2 books about Viv. Cool, fine, solid. I have an understanding of her character. Give me
Give me somebody else.
something else.
Yeah,
That's
You've got
fine.
so much talent. Let's use it for something else.
I do agree.
Yeah.
Or give me
I
one of those
agree.
elf smut books. That are...
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah,
what?
let's go.
I will read some Elf Smut books.
Elsmut 2024.
That would be
No,
grand.
The character of like she orc and warrior, but what if also cozy? I think like yes, we've done.
Yeah,
We've
you
explored
did
that
it
enough.
already.
We can,
Yeah.
we can move on.
Yeah. I'm personally interested in like cozy mysteries in a fantasy world. Not a lot of authors have done it successfully in what I've read so far. And maybe he would do it successfully, but at least I'm sure it would be cozy. I'm 100% sure it'll be cozy.
Yeah.
I'm cozy. I think cozy would be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want a TTRPG party where it's just like incredibly low stakes. It's like, oh no, someone stole the cookies from the cookie jar.
That would be fun.
That would be
Highest
fun.
stakes, 5 doubloons. Take it or leave it.
5 doubloons. Yes.
I would like for it to be a different character, but right now I don't have any confidence that any of the characters would be good for a such.
Yeah, maybe not the current
in my
characters.
own opinion.
Yeah.
No, that's valid.
I do agree.
I don't know. Maybe we could see like Melee in her younger days. I think that would be interesting.
That would be fun too.
That's
like
true.
that.
I think that like what you said about like her and the goblin like washing dishes at the same time. I thought that was like, pretty deep and interesting.
Yeah.
That was such a detailed, like, I don't know, like, I guess for me that's such like a humanistic, like putting myself in Melee's shoes. Like, if I was in that position, I'd be like, I'd also have to quit. That's too much, too close.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I think, as we were saying, like, what if we'd had a low stakes quest? Like, what if someone, like, literally, like, a group of adventurers literally just has to, like, take someone from point A to point B, and then they literally just take someone to point A to point B.
Yeah.
And then you learn about his story the whole way, whoever they're taking.
Isn't that just like, what is it? Isn't that just Canterbury Tales?
Kinda, yeah. Just do modern fantasy Canterbury Tales. Why not?
Yeah, let's get through it. Dude, we could write it. We could each write like a character.
Yeah.
On this pilgrimage. We could publish this.
That's called a role play. You want to publish role play?
Yes. Adventure
RP,
Zone.
do you guys want to RP with me?
Honestly, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, seriously, we could do it, you know, and we could publish it on the Michael Blog.
That would be fun though, because
Make
it's
all
like
books and then make a whole ass studio for the book club. What?
Yeah, I know, right? Turn reading club into writing club. Wow.
Ooh. We have writing sprints. Oh my god, my fingers would have hurt.
Yeah, I was literally playing Frostpunk the other day, and there's so much. I tried my best, and by the end of it, I was literally holding like my right hand because of the thumb. I'm like, no, go, 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 go.
Oh my gosh. That's not even right.
I have to wear braces on my hands, so I don't care.
Oh yeah, I do too sometimes.
Because my work is so hand heavy that I wear I wear like little hand socks when I'm at home, and then I sleep in braces, so it doesn't matter to me.
Gosh.
Oh goodness. The braces, the hand socks though.
I do have little hand socks, yeah.
It's so cute. I have those too when my hands are cold. Yeah, so I guess that was Bookshops and Bonedust.
Do your hand socks have like finger holes, or are they just like literally a sock? I'm just
I
imagining.
would be able to
little
type
nuns.
if they were literally a socky goober. They're the compression gloves.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, compression gloves.
I just call
I
them
don't
my little
know,
hand socks because they like go over my whole hand.
Type just like one little like nub at a time.
Just poke out my one finger and go at it.
Uh-huh. That would be so adorable.
That's great.
I'll work on that for you, Toto.
I feel like at that point you just put socks on your hands.
My people
anyway.
look at
Yeah,
You
but
literally
just-
put socks on your hands.
Socks on your hands. Yeah, I do have some really cozy socks. That would work. It's kind of just mittens.
Get the aloe socks.
Oh yeah, the aloe socks. I had some of those, but they were also rose scented and they were too smelly. Like,
I've never had some that were scented. That sounds terrible.
yeah, it was awful. I didn't know they were scented, and I was like, I can't sleep with these.
Oh my god, speaking of that, I bought some like cute like Valentine's Day candy, and it was like, you know, red and white, and I was like, oh, it must be like fruit flavored, you know? But no, they're like all rose flavored. I'm like,
Oh,
this is
no.
terrible. Oh,
Rose
no.
or rosé?
Is there a difference?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
rosé is a type of wine, and rose is the flower.
Oh yeah, no, they're rose flavored.
Okay.
Oh, that would like
That's
one,
tough.
like one of a multiple flavored pack, fine, but like just rose, no.
Yeah, they're
that's
all just
too
like
much.
different.
Yeah,
shades
my
of
my
rose.
sisters
Aw.
used to have a cellar water that smelled like rose, and now I can't have anything rose.
I know it tastes floral, and it's a little
Yeah,
too much.
that's
too,
it.
It's like too
Oh,
powerful.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, that sounds like too much.
Like a little bit's fine. But
I like eating like flowers and stuff, but yeah,
Yeah, not
sometimes
too
rose
much.
can get too much. In particular, I think.
especially if it's like the only flavor and it's like a gummy which like sticks in your mouth.
Yeah.
Weird. They should go more the botanical route.
Maybe I'll take them to school and then just like feed them to the kids.
Oh, don't do that to like when they're bad.
Here's a gummy.
No. Just be like, here, like I'll just like set them out, and then like whoever eats them will eat them. Maybe. One
Gosh, you
person will
have
like
an
them.
attitude today. Here's a candy.
Here's a candy, and then they die.
And to give like a vaguely like a positive but threatening way, enjoy the next 24 hours.
Oh no, cursed.
They just taste rose. Every time they're bad, they taste rose.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. I guess if we are done discussing Bookshops and Bonedust, we can give our ratings.
Oh,
we'd
that's
like.
only been an hour. What the
I know
heck?
it's only it's a short book, honestly.
It is a short book.
Not a ton
yeah.
happens. And
Yeah, I read it in a week, so like
I don't have a ton
Same.
additional commentary to make, honestly, unless somebody else has plot points to bring up.
No, not really.
'Cause I think we
like
did
the
go
book.
over
I
a
didn't.
lot.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we can give our wrap-up thoughts with our ratings.
Yeah, for sure. Who would like to go first?
All right, I'll go
Okay.
first. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
It was good. It was cozy as expected. I like the characters. I think more could have been done to make it feel more special, but it does suffer from like prequelitis, you know.
Prequelitis, yeah.
Yeah. So some of it is understandable, but I don't know. I just wanted more.
Mm-hmm. Would you recommend it to fans of Legends and Lattes?
Yes, I feel like if you enjoyed Legends and Lattes, it is a cozy, easy read. Still low stakes, maybe a little more action, but I don't think that the action was what I was looking for in the series.
I'm in agreement. I think for my rating, I'm gonna stick with a solid 6. Cause like it was fine. As someone who read it while they were sick, I mean, like you had a cup of tea, you had like a little like a popcorn snack, and then you just consumed this book in one sitting. It really wasn't that bad. And if you read the first one, you gotta read the second one. You gotta have the set. So yeah, I think it's a good book. I would recommend it. It's a no harm, no foul book. There just could have been more. There were a few parts in the middle where I was just bored.
Yeah.
You gave your. I'm sorry, I was just like spacing out. Did you give your rating for like? Would you recommend to?
6 across the board for me.
Yeah.
Across the board. All right.
Fair enough.
I think I'll say 6.5 for my personal rating, my star rating, and then it's like rating. If you read the first book, like maybe like an 8, like do read this book. But if you haven't read the first book, I would recommend the first book more.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna I'm gonna prop myself up with Toto. I'm gonna say a solid 6.5. Yeah, probably a very stern like 6.5. All right, easy to listen to. You know, like I said, I got confused in the first few chapters just because it was kind of like. I don't think it was the structure that was the issue. I think it may have just been.
No, I feel
I don't
you.
know.
I
It's
was
like
the
it's
same
like
way.
playing
get
a
it.
game that has a really like grayscale sort of tint to it, like a HUD, like how some games look overall brownish or some games look overall grayish. Just quick analogy there, but that's kind of like what it felt like. Like it took a while to have the
Brighten up.
characters feel exactly bright enough for them to no longer like blend in with the background.
That's fair. I like
of it
that.
all. And I don't know too much about the whole prequel-itis type thing, but yeah, it's one of those situations like when you always have a prequel in the main thing, you're like, oh, which one do I read first? And I'm thinking like, read the first one first. Sometimes I'm an advocate for like reading it in chronological order, but yeah, give yourself something really good to start with. with that first one, and then enjoys this as if it's like a filler episode of sorts. And I skip most filler episodes, so yeah, I would say 6 on the recommend scale. If you enjoy a little more world building, have at it.
Yeah, that's fair. The word prequelitis reminded me of. I guess I'll say this during my review. So I think it's a 6 for me as well. Going into this book, I was reminded of the fact that I don't like backstories for characters that don't necessarily need it. Like, I don't need to know, like, apparently there's a Little Mermaid movie out there right now that gives a reason why King Triton doesn't like humans, and it's like, I don't really need to know that. That's just part of his character. I don't really need to know why. And so to me, it kind of felt like, do I need to know the origin of Black Blood? Do I need to know how Galena met Viv? Do I need to know that Viv likes being calm and chilling? No, I don't think I needed to, but overall, regardless, because this wasn't like a villain origin story or anything, I still found myself enjoying it because it still was just low stakes slice of life. I wish that I would have gotten more of Viv's internal dialogue and thoughts that were a bit more complex, and like got really into the nitty gritty of how she felt about things. But overall, it was an easy read and it was fun. If you read Legends and Lattes, I think it's like a 8 or a 9 even to read this prequel, because you'll probably like it enough. It'll be a nice read. And yeah, I also, when you said you were eating it with popcorn, Faye, I also thought it had the phrase popcorn read in my brain.
Yeah.
Like just turn your brain off and enjoy it.
Yeah, just shut up and enjoy a little story.
Yeah, it's totally nice.
Aggressive.
I just really wanted to review this book because I wanted so much more from it, because I felt like it had a lot of potential, but
Yeah.
alas.
That's fair, yeah.
So then I wanted to rant about it for a whole hour. So
You deserve that.
Thank you for being
because
here.
Because we had higher expectations that we didn't enjoy that fun.
Well,
I
I
think
think it's one
so.
of those that, like, when you, so, like, and I'm gonna use Krispy Kreme as an analogy. Like, when you go to Krispy Kreme and you see the sign that says, like, fresh, like, they just pulled them out of the oven, and you get 2, right? And you eat the one, and it's perfect. It's everything you wanted. And then you eat the second one, and it's still good, but it doesn't have the same hit as the first one. Legends and Lattes was so
Yeah.
different and so fun and so fresh.
Yeah.
So then when we got something that was the same thing, but altered, it's like, yeah, fine, but, like,
Meh.
Yeah, it's
We've,
like
like,
Kraft.
tasted this
It's like
before.
Kraft versus Velveeta mac and cheese. One just slaps immediately, and the other one's like, well, it's like your taste. You like it.
it's mac and cheese. Like,
Wait,
fine.
hang on. Which one's Kraft and which one's Velveeta? We're gonna fight her.
Wait, which one is the
Uh,
better
Good
one?
Toto dragging realm out of the.
Uh-oh.
All right,
We're
all
all
right.
fighting
Just
in a fighting
prefacing
mood
this,
today.
I use Velveeta cheese blocks more often for cooking. I make Kraft mac and cheese purely for the mac and cheese, and I have it literally within 5 seconds. I don't have it within like 2 minutes. I think it's trash. So I like it really fresh. Velveeta, I use the blocks to cook other types of things. So to me, Legends of Lattes was like really fresh Kraft mac and cheese.
Okay.
I see.
Like
That's
right
okay.
off
I don't
the
eat either.
stovetop.
I don't make either. I don't make stovetop.
I mean, of course,
like
like my sister's like a vegetarian, so of course she knows how to make really good, like, we bought her like an enamel pot to make her own sort of like bechamel mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Like we glam it up in here. But if you're like lazy and you just want something quick, and you're like, it's like the go-to.
It's true. Maybe I should get some cheese. Made me hungry
Aren't you
now.
lactose
We always seem
intolerant?
to make ourselves hungry here.
I am
right?
lactose intolerant. Damn it. But I have lactose
Same risk and
intolerant.
reward, baby.
Oh goodness.
It's,
Well, I
okay,
want
it's not
you-
real cheese. It's all fake.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Was there any more to the Krispy Kreme analogy? I didn't mean to
Oh
interrupt.
no, though,
with,
and it worked with your.
No, I think it
Mac
worked.
and cheese,
I like
yeah.
the Krispy Kreme analogy.
Yeah, I
It
understand.
could be a cinnamon rolls. That way.
It
Yeah,
could have been
cinnamon rolls
anything. I
too.
just used Krispy Kreme.
No, there's something about like when the fresh sign is out and you get them, and they taste really good. But if you have 2, then you kind of feel sick.
Right,
Yeah,
and
it
like
makes sense.
it's sort of like your ideas of expectations, but in most cases, typically if you just have assumptions, you're really just kind of like make an ass of yourself. But but here I don't think that was much of an issue. It might have maybe been like 15-20% of like the inherent problem, perhaps, that we had
Yeah.
expectations from the first book, but a lot of it we all pointed out the same things. Like it was just
Yeah.
a lack of depth that made the kind of pop
Yeah.
that the first book had.
I will say, I know I kind of jokingly made a fuss that it was about the same orc. I think if it were about a different orc, I would have been annoyed. More annoyed, because it's like, ugh, we just read this. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So I kind of like that it was a prequel.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would have been more annoyed too.
True, because they could have made things overcomplicated
Yeah.
That's
with
true.
a new story.
I also went into this. I didn't really read the synopsis on the back either. I just was like, yes, I will read this. Yeah. So I didn't know at all what was gonna happen. I knew it was a prequel, but that's about it. But I don't know.
I just trust you blindly. Like, you were like, read this, and I said, okay, and I didn't do anything. I just bought it.
It's wonderful.
And yet you still won't read One Piece.
One Piece is a big undertaking. This is like
That's-
300
yeah, no.
pages. Oh, I do understand. Okay.
At this point, not reading One Piece is on principle.
Oh
It's okay.
gosh.
No. No.
No. I totally get that, because there are shows that people are just like, oh my god, you just gotta watch, and I'm like, well, now I don't wanna. You just keep annoying me.
I do get
We
that.
have to do it on principle. It's not even the general manager.
Oh my gosh, I got like this huge paragraph from Chaos, who can't be here today, about the story.
Ooh, read it on their
Ooh la
behalf.
la.
Yeah, he read
Can we
it.
get a-
He says,
can we get
it's
a suave
overall
narration?
a misadventure for me. Nothing was risked, nothing was lost, and almost nothing was gained. The friend relationship between Fern and Viv was the strongest thread and the only one that was compelling. It was more like the first. If it was more like the first book and focused primarily on that, I think it would have been better. I think the side characters in Legends and Lattes were better too. If you could remove Melee, the story would have so much room to breathe, and you get the momentary mystery of whether Viv is lesbians from this book reading material. I guess that's what Chaos wanted out of it. The mystery already solved by the first book.
I don't know.
Yeah, not enough, and too many checklist moments. That's already been answered in Legends and Lattes.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So there we go.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
maybe it's just me, but I love coming out stories. But there's
Yeah, no, it would have been fun if Viv had like had that moment, or even like, because it's not even a matter of realizing like I like guys and girls. Like for me, because I just didn't like anybody for a really long time. It was like, oh, I actually like someone, you know, for me at like an older age. So even that is a fun idea. But
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I spent a long time being like, I don't care. You guys care? Why are we care? Oh, I get it.
yeah, because she's younger and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, in a different book, I wouldn't care.
Totally fair.
So there we go. If we want to, we can go over my 2 suggestions for next time, and we can pick on stream, or we can do it after stream, whichever you prefer.
I don't mind. No.
Yeah, we can
In
do
any-
that.
Yeah,
in any
throw
case,
'em
like,
out
tell
here
us your
and,
suggestions.
All right,
Yeah.
I
If
have
anything, we can just further debate it later.
2. Yeah, that's true. At least we could throw them out here. So I have 2
Bye,
options.
bye.
So I was really actually thinking, because I wanted to do something that we hadn't done at all before, and so I found 2 books that fit my reading goals for this year. So one of my reading goals is, one, to not only read authors that are Asian or white people, because that's like all I read, I've realized, which isn't necessarily bad, but I want to expand. So I picked 2 books. One of the authors is from Brazil, and one of the authors is just a black author from the U.S. So the novel that I have is called The Ballad of Perilous Graves by Alex Jennings. I'm halfway through it right now, and it's been pretty great, actually. So I thought, as I've been reading that, I'm like, maybe we should pick it. It's like a fantasy story about like the dead and music and magic, and in what do we say? There's like the main character has like a talent for magic, but isn't like wanting to do it. Maybe I should just read the whole. Here, I'll just read the thing. Hold on. In a world of everyday miracles, Perry might not have talent for magic, but he does know Nola's rhythm as intimately as his own heartbeat. So when the great magician starts appearing in odd places and essential songs are forgotten, Perry realizes trouble is afoot. 9 songs of power have escaped from the piano that maintains the city's beat, and without them, Nola will fail. Unwilling to watch his home be destroyed, Perry will sacrifice everything in order to save it. But a storm is brewing, and the haint of all haints is awake. Nola's time might be coming to an end.
I love the word haint.
Haint. So I'm really enjoying this so far. It's written in a really fun way, and there's good representation in this. Not just like there's people of color, but there's like trans people and things like that. It's just been fun. I'm liking it. So I thought that would be fun. I think it's a little bit longer, but it's like if I cut it in half, or if I were to cut it where like a good stopping point would be, we would only have like 100 pages left. So it's kind of like, let's just read the whole thing. Plus, yeah. I don't know if you read audiobooks at like a faster speed than one, because I'm listening to both the audiobook and reading it in chunks. And the audiobook is great because there's music and stuff. It's really fun.
Oh.
And it's a good time. And I read it at 1.5 speed, and it's only 10 hours at that point if you do 1.5 speed, which is what I do, because otherwise they're too slow for me personally. And then the other one, I thought, well, this is a Brazilian author, and I thought, I think Leah recommended this book, and it's not actually a book, it's a graphic novel, and we haven't picked a graphic novel yet, and it's The Princess and the Grilled Cheese Sandwich, which is like a lesbian kind of Pride and Prejudice-y story, with cheese being the main theme of the book. So yeah, it's like Regency with cheese, and it's a pretty looking graphic novel, but it's more of a lighthearted story. Whereas Ballad of Perilous Graves is not dark, but it's not fluffy, I would say. Yeah. So those are my 2 things. I picked a normal book and a graphic novel.
Perilous Graves immediately seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the name of the second one? I'm looking at
the second one. I'll give the premise of The Princess and the Grilled Cheese Sandwich. It's Lady Camembert wants to live a life on her own terms without marriage. Well, without marrying a man, that is. But the law of the land is that the family fortunes cannot be passed down to women. So when her father passes away, she does the only thing she can. She disguises herself as a man and moves to the capital city in the kingdom of fromage and starts over as Count Camembert. But it's hard to keep a low profile when the beautiful Princess Brie, with her fierce activism and great sense of fashion, catches Cam's attention. Cam can't resist to get to know the princess. But as the two grow closer, will she be able to keep her secret?
I mean, technically they do grow older.
Yeah, they probably grow older as well. But
I mean, just like, because of how time works.
Yeah, because time happens, yeah. So those are the two
I
ones.
like both of these.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we can read both of them at some point. So
I like cheese.
Yeah.
Lesbians.
I would very happily do both. I think the first thing that really jumped out at me was that first one. Just because I was reading. Sorry, I have like 15 different tabs open. I gotta go back to it.
Yeah, I think the first one would be better because like we are gonna catch up with One Piece at some point, and then I think after that we can do more graphic
that's true. We
novels.
can do graphic novels that way too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So first thing, the genres, which really stuck out at me: fantasy fiction, magic realism, urban fiction, contemporary fantasy. Those are all pretty cool. I haven't read many of those.
That's true. I picked a magical realism yet.
I am also a big fan of like stories that revolve around like the culture and history of like southern sort of areas. Not like regular American history, because like fuck American history. European history is where it's at, but like in the sort of soul city type thing.
Yeah.
Like I love New Orleans blues, like Windy City blues, stuff like that. So that sort of mystique of it all.
Like, I did kind of think this
that's
would
a very
appeal to
different
you,
flavor.
Realm.
I think it's a different flavor of book that we haven't like experienced before.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm down.
How do you feel,
for
Faye?
the Ballad of Perilous?
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
I mean, I do want to read both. I want to be very clear, because
Okay.
like we still owe Toto a solid gay romance.
Lesbian romance, yeah. Yeah, I did end up buying The Princess and the Grilled Cheese Sandwich because it was on sale at my bookstore, and I was like, this is so cute. What the heck? So
We've been promising Toto one for a hot minute now, so like
yeah.
No. It's okay. It's okay.
Although most of the
It's
books I
It's
picked
fine.
have lesbians in there somewhere.
I know.
Yeah, but we haven't been able to get like the
We just
solid.
wanna find
Well, actually, you know what? No, sorry. Legend of Latte's got the happy ending. Just every other ones have been like unrequited love or unknown
Whatever happened in
tensions
Time
or
War, like whatever that was.
literally
However that-
multi-dimensional. Just love, man.
Apparently, lesbians can work in fantasy, but not in sci-fi.
Right.
Pretty much.
Not in sci-fi.
So let's find the ones that love.
Let's find the ones that love. All right. Well, you heard it here first, everyone. Our next read is The Ballad of Peerless Graves by Alex Jennings. This is also a debut novel, so that's nice. It's a pretty solid one,
Oh.
Ooh.
as far as debuts go.
Love it.
So yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for deciding on Stream with me.
Yeah.
If anybody has any other suggestions that would
Yes.
be that on your list,
Oh,
genres,
don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Yay! Yeah. And then
Thank
there
you.
was-
Yes,
Thank you.
any of those, we'll be reading all comments. If you want to hang out to the Discord
Yeah,
as
no,
well,
I literally
throw
actually
stuff
read
in.
the comments sometimes
I do
for the book club
too.
channel, and I'm just like, oh, they had a good point.
Yeah.
Be happy to have you.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. So yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here and
Of
letting me
course.
rant about this book. And also
Yeah.
ranting with me about this book. We were all in a fighting mood. I wonder if this book actually made us angry.
No, I think it's just Faye. Faye just inspired.
Complaining in my blood. This is no problem whatsoever.
I have bad news for you guys. Like, I've always been spicy. I've been just on my good behavior.
No,
Yeah.
I like
This
it.
is
I
me
didn't-
off
I
my
didn't
good
say
behavior. It's
stop.
awesome.
I
Told
didn't
you.
say
It's
stop,
great.
okay?
I will make your chaos gremlin license one day.
I will earn it.